Hello and welcome back to Cracking Cryptic. And today I am going to be taking on a puzzle called Irregular Sums by Bebop Kid, which is inspired by Japanese sums, and for which reason I think he said he thought I might well like it, and I think he might well be right. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try. I will just mention the Patreon channel first. Scott Strossal's Incredible Pirate Puzzle Hunt, still garnering brilliant reviews on that from the few who managed to get through it. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. And also another puzzle that came in onto the Patreon, absolutely free for people to try. And I think that's connected with the channel over on the Discord server, the CTC ARG channel, not thread. I'm trying to learn. And this brings us to this puzzle today. Now, what are the rules of this puzzle? Well, the bit we're filling in is the 9x9 white square in the bottom right. That is the Sudoku puzzle here. It is governed by some of normal Sudoku rules. Every row and column has the numbers 1 to 9, but the shapes of the regions are not 3x3 boxes necessarily. They are shapes that we have to determine. So we could, for instance, have a 9-cell region of that shape, for instance, which has the numbers 1 to 9 in it. Now, we have not only, obviously, to determine the shapes, but also to fill in the numbers. And the clues we get are outside the grid. And they are grouping the sums of the digits in that column or row in terms of the shapes in which they appear. So in this end column, for instance, there are only 2 shapes appearing. So we could have a sum of 34 in those 6 digits and a sum of 11 in those. And those 3 might be part of a shape, for instance, that was 3, 5, 8, 9 cells like that. But the 3 digits in the end column would add up to 11. Although, I mean, actually, you can see this is impossible because in the bottom row, the second shape appearing, the second of 2 shapes, adds up to 33. Now you will also see some dashes, and these are undisclosed amounts in their row or column. So we have to work out what they are. So in the very few columns and rows where we have all the clues, no dashes, you'll see they do add up to 45. So all the shapes, all the numbers are counted from 1 to 9 because they add up to 45. We just have to work out all the shapes ourselves. So do give it a go on the link below the video. I think this puzzle is going to be fun. I do like this sort of style. I've never actually seen this rule set before, but I'm going to give it a go now. So let's get cracking. And where do we start? I suppose that 33 and 34 are quite interesting. 33 has to be at least 5 cells. 9, 8 and 7, 6 only add up to 30. What'll I do for colour? Let's make that green, just to show they must all be in the same colour shape. 12 means at least 2 on that end. I'll randomly go purple. Now 11 going up, so the bottom shape must be in at least 2 cells. 34 coming down must be at least 5, like 33. So let's make that orange. But I mean, this colour scheme clearly may not work because it's going to be very hard to map it both across and down. There's a 31 there. That's got to be at least 5 cells as well. So I'll put them in orange. Not because I think they're going to connect up with those. They clearly aren't. But just because it's one kind of splash of colour in the column. Let's do just alternating colours with the lengths that they must begin with. 41 in column 1. Now that is interesting because there's only 4 outside it, and that's in 2 shapes, so they must be 1 and 3 on the ends, and the big chunk in the middle must all be 1 shape that adds up in this column to 41. So we've got a 1 and a 3 outside it for definite. How can we use that? Oh, well, look, there's a 1 at the end of this column. Well, that's a write-in. That one must be a 1, and it's in a shape that's separate from the ones above it. I don't really know how to notate that. I'm just going to leave it for now. And that one fixes our 3-1 pair straight away. Now we know that this row with the 6 in it at the beginning has to have at least 2 cells. But it could then join on to this one if it was a 1, 2, 3. Right, what else can we do? Now that 1 was interesting, and look, there's a 2 at the end of this row, so that has to be a 2 in a cell, and clearly the next cell is not the same colour. 2, 9. Now sometimes the rows and columns with lots of clues are helpful. 7's the most we get. Yeah, I mean this row is interesting. There's not many degrees of freedom. 11 clearly has to be 2 cells. And all of the others, even if they're dashes, have to be at least 1 cell. So that uses up 8 of the cells. But we don't know whether that 2 is there. The 11 could actually be a 3. There's only 1 degree of freedom in the row, but we don't know where it gets used. 2 of them begin with 5. And look, we've got this run of cells down here. Yeah, look, this 41 shape, the blue shape, let's call it the blue shape, that has 41 there, and it must have another 3 and a 1 to make up its 9-digit total. They're not these cells in the column, obviously. So they're out here somewhere. Yes, one of them must be in one of these that begin with a 9, because they can't both be 9. One of them must be in the one that begins with a 5. Well, that's interesting. I don't know how to notate that 2 of these cells are blue, so I'm going to have to remember it. But one of these 2 is the 9, one of these 2 is the 5, because the other one has the 1 or the 3. So 1 and 3 are in those cells in column 2. And wherever they do appear, they're blue. So at the bottom we've got a 13. We know this is part of the 12, so I'm going to colour that purple as well. Could be a 9 and a 4 there, so it doesn't have to come up here. How do we progress? Yeah, the trouble is we kind of milked all the information from these beginning cells. Let's have a look. And I've done the kind of beginning cells at the top. I haven't done the ending cells so much. 13, 14 there has to be at least 2 cells, but I don't know if they are green or purple. Actually, they must be either green or purple because there are only 2 shapes in the bottom row. If it was purple, this would have to be 3, 1 with a 2 and a 6. That is possible. But there aren't many long shapes at the end. There aren't many long ones at the beginning. 12 there. Okay, that means that's orange. That's all part of the same shape. I don't know. 2 was only marginally helpful there. What about this row? Okay. This row's got 3 9s in it. So one of them is a genuine single 9. The other 2 are 9 made up of 2 digits. Okay, so we know that 4 and 5 in this row are just a single 4 and a single 5. Now, I don't know where the 5 is because I don't know whether that 9 is 1 or 2 cells. Then after the 5, we have 2 blanks, which must be single digits. And then 9 in 2 digits. Oh yeah, the same principle actually at the end applies to the beginning. Sorry, now that we know that only the 5 and 9 can be the false digits, can be the cells that use 2 cells, all of the other cells in the first column must be the exact digit that appears, and they then end there. Oh, there isn't one in this one. That's very annoying. But the 7 and the 8 are finished there. Now, that doesn't mean they're purple in this shape at the top, because we don't know how big that is. 13 and 13 at the bottom. And they must include the 1 and 3. So the bottom 13 could be, say, 9 and 4. I suppose the next 3 could, including either 3 or 1, which they must do, include either 3 or 1. could make up the next 13. I don't know if that's really helping. Oh, okay, the other thing to look at is that after the 7 we have a 12, and after the 8 we have an 11. They're both 2 digits long at least, so they must run into this orange shape. Now, I still don't know if that orange shape there is going to be the same as that purple, but it could be. But actually, if it wasn't, the purple would have to come out here and escape. And that is not going to work, because it would have to hit, I would have to hit a 3 at least. It wouldn't have to hit another 1. It seems incredibly unlikely. Yes, it would make column 2 impossible. You couldn't fit 2 13s and another dash below it. So those two are part of the same shape. I'll make them orange. Let's change the color over there to blue. So this orange, these are all part of the same shape now. And in fact, that means that this 6 is now 1, 2, 3. Once we've got a 3 there, we know that 29 is 5 cells long, because 9873 is a maximum of 27. So now we've got that orange shape absolutely complete. I don't know what the digits in it are, but if that adds up to 29 and that's 1, this lot adds up to 15. There's 13 and 13 below it is 26, 41 in the column. Then there's 4, which is either a single 4 or actually much more likely 1 and 3. I don't know that I can decide that. Oh, I tell you what, yes. Yes, this one can't be blue, because then at least one of these cells would get isolated. So that is not blue. It's not the 1 or 3. This one can only be blue if this one is. If this one was blue, this one would have to be blue. So this is definitely blue. And it's not where the 5 is, so we can take that pencil mark out, fill in 5 here. And now we know that one's not blue. And this one can't be, it would block that one in, so that is blue. This is the 9 that's not in 2 cells. So the 9, sorry, that is in 2 cells. So the 9 that's in 1 cell is here. Now, to go with 1 or 3, we have either 2 or 4 to make the 5 total. Let's just remove those pencil marks. And to go with 1 or 3, we have either 8 or 6. Well, it can't be 8. Brilliant. So that's 6, that's 3, that's 1, that's 4, and a 2 to finish the column. And we've done the whole blue shape. Now we know that's a 2 because the 3 is in the column. This lot adds up to 15, we said. Oh, these two are 13, but there's all sorts of ways of still doing that. How frustrating. I haven't actually narrowed them down at all, really. Right, but then, yeah, this lot adds up to 4, and we kind of knew that the second dash here added up to 4 once we knew the top one was 15. So these two must be 13. They're not purple or blue or orange. So let's go grey here. I know I'm going grey anyway. Right, that is part of a 16, which now we know that that's a 9. This 16 can't be 2 cells. It must be at least 3 and maybe more. The 11 here is at least 2, so we're getting more of that grey shape completed. It's not part of the 1 and it's not part of the 29. So it's got to go down there and be 15. The 1 must now be purple, it's because this purple bit has to get out, and it has to get out here where we've got 14 at the bottom. So 13 there. 16, 17, 14 here, might go up to there, we don't know, that's 31. Still another 14 to go after that, but this is a blank, one of those annoying blanks. But now in this column at least, where it says 14, 17, 14, we know the top 14 is green. We know the middle one is grey. Actually, maybe I should shade in the colours just to establish where I know what they're using. Since the software allows it, that's quite fun. Purple there, purple there. Oh, this is why I shouldn't have used grey after all. Shall I use yellow? I mean, yellow has its own risks, but let's go red. So that's red, that's red. The 17 is red, that's what we've just established. The 1 and the 14 are purple. And now over here, 6 is orange. Don't know about the rest of the column, the row I mean. Then we've got blue. Actually, we can do all of these are openers in blue. Like that. All of the next cells in the top 4 rows are orange. And the top 5 rows, I mean. The next 3 rows all have red. That's purple, and I think we can go with green as the colour there, which must go up to there. I'm going to stick with this orange out here as well, which is the first one in at least the top 5. Orange there, green in all of those bottom ones. And we've got quite a lot of these numbers identified now, actually, much more than I thought. Right, this is 12, and it can't be 7, 5, and it can't be 3, 9 now, given the position of these 3s. So that's an 8, 4 pair. Now we've got 5, 7, 6, and 9 to use. We've got an 11 there. That has to be 5 and 6. 7 and 9. Well, we have... Ooh, what am I doing? Colour. Fool. Right, 7 and 9 we can actually fill in because we know what the clues are. So actually that is a very useful mechanism, and I should keep trying to watch it as I use it. Now... Now we're running up against a lot of blanks here. 9 in the top row though, ooh, that's got to either be 4, 5 or a single 9. Or 5, 4. Ah, 15 here. 3, 7, 9, 1 are gone. We've got to use 2 and another 13. Ah, but that, yes, that must be 2, 8, 5. Yeah, it must be. Must be. That's the only way to make 15 using the 2 and the other candidate numbers. So that has resolved our 4, 6 and 8, 5 there. And we are flying along now. Not really, but getting going. Now, let's call this colour green. This is a definite green. So that has to be green. These 2 are green. Now I don't know after that, so I don't know why I bothered. Right, we've got 6, 4, 7 and 9 to fill in here. 2 13s they group into. But I don't know which way round they go. Are any of these clues telling me that's an 11? It makes 9, 2 very possible. Actually, it means 8 is not possible here, I think. Because this can't be 1, 2 or 3. So in fact that is not 8, that is definitely 2. 4, 6, 7 or 9, I think several of them are possible. 7's not, but 4, 6 and 9 are, I think. And they would go with 4, 9 or 7 here. Can't be a 9 there because it's right next to a 9. So actually we are a bit limited. 6, 2... That's either a 3 or a different colour. And in fact, we need 7 colours in this row. Yeah, we noted that earlier. Ah, this row's interesting. And I've written the wrong colour. That is not red. That should be purple, which gets in the way first. So that's red, and it's 8. It's clearly 8 from the clue. Pay attention to these clues. I just told myself to do that, and I immediately forgot. Right, and now this is purple, and it's 18. That's got to be at least 3 cells. So the purple extends out like that. How many cells have we got? 8 already done. 40. Oh, I don't know where the other cell goes. But this 7 is now isolated at the bottom in green, and we can fill in the 7 digit. I thought immediately it clashed with that 7, but that's not in the grid. That's outside the grid. In fact, maybe that's the problem with doing all these colours on the clues, is that I cannot tell with the colours which bits are in the grid and which bits are outside. I suppose I have to use the black and blue text to determine that. Now, these two add up to 13. These add up to 14. Oh, we don't know these purple sums here. Ah, but we do know that's 18. 18 plus 13 is 31, plus 1, 32, plus 3, 35. This cell and whatever other one it is add to 10, but it could be anywhere in there. 3 and 1 though, right, these have to be 2 and 6. Yes, I said that earlier, and now we've got the 2 there, and now we know it is 4 digits. 6, 2, right, that has resolved this all. So sorry if you've been noticing that and getting annoyed with me. 4, 5, we've got another 7 here, but that could be 6, 1 or a single 7. Now, 7, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, and 9 to make 18. It's got to be 4, 5, and 9, and no more. 2, 7, 8, 4, 5, 9. So the rest of the column's made up with 1, 3, and 6. Now, this is 14, and it starts with a 2, so we need another purple there. That is the full extent of the purple. The first thing after red is purple. And this digit is whatever's left. It's an 8. And this makes 14, so that's 4. It's all still working. This is very encouraging. 2, 4, 8 there. So this, if it was a pair, has to be 9 and 5, but it could be 3 digits. Okay, but this is progress. Right, at the end of this row, we have 3 and then 7, and we know what it's all made up of. So we can fill in 3 and a 1, 6 pair, which are both in green. The 3 is a different colour that's not green or purple. I don't think it can be any of the stuff that we've got already, so I'm going to call it blue. Probably going to take out that blue at some point. It makes 15 in the column, so at least 3 blue cells. That's blue, the 15. Those are purple. Green makes 10 here. Ah, and this has to get out. There's only 7 green cells there so far. So they're either going to come up here or both. 33 from that group and 7 from that is 40. Just another 5 in 2 cells that don't include a 1. So we've got 2 and 3 to put in. So they don't both go up here because we've got a 2 in that column already. So one of them must come here, and that can't be a 2. So that must be the 3. This must be the 2. There's nowhere else it can go. And if my logic is right, that is the green shape. That's going to make these 2 orange because there's nothing else they can be. 34, no, the 11 now at the bottom has to be 6 and 5 because we can't use the 1. 4, 8, and 9 down here. That one we know is 8 from the clue. This one has to be 4. That makes the 10 clue work. This one's a 9, which fixes the 5, 9 pair above it. And suddenly the bottom 2 rows are complete as well. That is a blue 3. We've done that. Ah, there's a 7 at the end there. That's orange. Yes, these are both orange now. That's a single 7. In fact, how much? No, this end shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've already got 8 cells done of it. 5, 7, 6, 4, 2. Sorry about my language. I don't know quite what grammar that was. 8 goes in there. Does it? No, not necessarily. That's a mistake. This could be 2 cells wide. We don't know what that is. We've got 12 to fill in up here. And blank. Although just by ordinary Sudoku, this is kind of a naked pair. It's 8 or 9. It's not a pair, it's a naked duo. Now, that is possible either way. Okay, but this red shape, let's come back to this. We've got 6 cells done. It's got 17 going north, if you like. 7, that's got to be at least 2 more up there. And now we've got 8 cells of red covered. We've got 16 to do here. It could still be 1 6 instead of just a single 7. Don't know whether that's green or red there. Purple. 31 that's blue. That, I mean, some of these are going to be joined up. In fact, yes, where is that things that I've coloured green going to join to? Well, I think they're going to join on with this one that I've got coloured blue. They have to. That's the only place they can get out. They're not in the red or the orange. So let's make them all green. We'll call it green up here. 31, 9. And it's now 2 cells, so it's 4 and 5. Excellent. In fact, we've got the 4 and 5 down there, so it's 5 and 4. And anybody who thought the top row was obviously going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is scuppered. 14, so that can still be a 9. How frustrating. Can it be 2 cells making up 9? Yes, it could be 6, 3. Okay, so we don't know. 31 down here. And then unknown sums. The unknown sums must make 14, and that's clearly the 5 and 9. So the green comes all the way down to there. And in fact, that's the whole green shape done. So this cell has to be red, and that's the red shape done. Right, now these top 2 add up to 14, so we know that's a 9. This is a blank, so we don't know what that is. Okay, but that is 1 or 7 just by Sudoku. That's 6 or 3, and that's 1, 3 or 7. And we don't have clues for any of those after the orange. They're all red though. I can colour them. The next ones are all green after the red. Yeah, those are all green. Oh look, and one of them is a 1, so we can fill in 1 in the green there. And we know that the red is 16, so that's the 7. That's the 1, this is the 3, and suddenly the whole red shape's done. And all of the first column, the first 4 columns. Right, good. Now, down here, okay, we know the colours. I'm going to leave this as blue, I think. So that one is blue. This is green. Oh, what's that 14 doing in the row above? After the green, we've got 14, so that's got to be blue as well. Those two have to be 8 and 6. We know which order because of the 8 scanned down at the bottom of the grid. This is a 3 to complete the column, the row I mean. That's a 1 as a naked single. That's 8 or 9, and we've got an 8 clue, so it's 8. This is 9. But it could take another one. So we've got 5 and 6 to fill in. And we've got a 12 clue. So the 5 and 6 go here. We know the order, 5 and 6 like that. The orange shape is complete. This purple now has to take in these cells. So the top 3 bits are purple. So that's an 8. 6 is an orange cell and 5 is an orange cell. So I don't know the 10 here. It's going to have to be purple. What's that green doing there? That shouldn't be green. Oh, it was to show it wasn't going to be orange. So, but the orange shape is now finished. So we're now going to complete. We've finished the green shape down here. We're going to complete everything in blue and purple from here. So that's blue. What clues have we got? We've got a 15 clue in blue and then a 10 in what must be purple if it's next to the blue. That must be blue. So we've got 20 there in purple. Okay, but 10 in purple here. So that's got to be at least 2 cells and has to include that one, therefore. That 5's not possible anymore. So 5 goes there. 6, 3, yes, blue, orange, red, green, then 5, but I don't know if it's blue or purple for sure yet, do I? No, I don't think I do know. And then 9, actually yes, that 9 has to be 2 cells. So they're going to have to be blue. I don't think they can be purple, otherwise the blue wouldn't get enough space, so they're blue. That 9 is blue. That 5 must be purple because it's the only other colour it can be, so that's purple. Purple makes 11, blue makes 5. I mean, these just have to be purple and blue all the way home, basically. Purple there, blue there making 9. Could still be 1 cell. I'm going to just have to count up the number of cells in a moment. Just going to complete these colouring of the clues for completeness and because I'm not entirely unfamiliar with OCD. Now, what is that? We've got 3, 7, we've got 9 blues done and only 8 purples, so that is purple. And now we just have to finish the numbers 5, 7 and 9 to go in there. Can't quite sort those out. 6, 8, 3, 1, 4, 2 in the shape. The 2 has to be here because there's already a 2 in this row. Oh, 1 and 4 are going to have to go in there. That gives us a 6 here. This can't be 5, this can't be 7, this can't be 9. Don't know that that's true. Oh, it can't be 5. In fact, the only one that can be 5, therefore, is this one. Right, 2, 9 and 3, and we've got an 11 clue, so that's 2 and 9. 3 there. 9 in this row. Actually, they were easy to resolve, and I just didn't notice it. 7 here. 1 and 4 there, looking a bit like a deadly pattern, which is scaring me a little at the moment, although presumably I haven't noticed something. 6 and 7 up here. Oh, it was a bit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across the top. And now this last deadly pattern, but I've got this, yes, I was worried for a second because I've got a blank clue there, a blank clue in the blue there, and a 5 clue in the purple there, but in the 20 clue, I can resolve that that must be a 4, and that finishes the puzzle. Let's just, that 21 goes blue, and those are the colours of the clues. What it should look like with these going back to grey is something like, wow, let's get it right, something like that. That's the original colouring of the outside clues, and the grid looks like that. Brilliant. I mean, I really enjoyed that. This is such a clever setup. In some ways, as we got going, there were a lot of clues to deal with, and I wonder if you could do this with less, with slightly more bunched shapes, but it's a really neat idea. Thanks very much to Bebop Kid for sending that to us. Very well worth doing. It was absolutely right that I would enjoy it. And thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.